Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. If you're one of my regular viewers, you've heard me mention my thoughts on the inner dynamics of Kiss for a long time. I think Gene Simmons is a pompous asshole, and he's the worst part about Kiss. He's everything that's honestly wrong with the music industry as a whole, as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing wrong with making money, but when you are a horrible negative stereotype, I've got issues with it. This album, Kiss Revenge, arguably Kiss's last good solid album. Arguably, possibly the only good Kiss album outside of the original albums. Various opinions and thoughts on why that happened. Ultimately, I think it comes down to Gene Simmons. And, Gene Simmons is the one member of Kiss where he might have made everybody in Kiss a lot of money. He probably should be the one member of Kiss that should have been kicked out years ago. Which is going to be funny as well as I go through the songs in here with the writing credits and stuff like that. This is a really, really good album. Last album to feature any music from the late Eric Carr, where they had one of his old solos, so they put one of his old drum solos on here. Let's just get into the music. So the album opens up with Unholy. Great way to open up the album. Is it the best song on the album? No. Is it a fantastic song? It's a good mid-range song. It's not really up there, but it's not down either. It's good right through the middle. It's a good album opener, sets the tone, the pace, gives you an idea right away what this album's going to be like. And that is, oh man, I'm getting old. I can't read these anymore. Simmons and Vincent, it says on here. I'm not sure. Yeah. Then we get into Take It Off, which is Stanley, Ezrin, and Roberts. I'd have to double check, but being as it's Ezrin and Roberts, I want to say, well, Bob Ezrin, obviously, and then I want to say maybe Kane Roberts. I could see that. Kane Roberts, it really sucks for Kane Roberts. Really good music writer. Wrote fantastic music with Alice Cooper. The Constrictor album, the Raise Your Fist and Yell album, I think both of them are fantastic albums. Not necessarily the best of Alice Cooper, but they're fantastic albums, especially for the time period, the music style and stuff like that. And Kane Roberts was a huge part of that. Kane Roberts it really sucked that his solo music really didn't go anywhere. But he became a computer programmer, and that went places for him instead. Or a game programmer, I should say. But Take It Off, really good tune. It's your typical, kind of sex Kiss song. But it's a good tune. It's a fun one. Then you get to Tough Love. That's Stanley, Kulick, and Ezrin. That would be Bruce Kulick, if I remember correctly. Because this was Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick's last big hurrah. They worked on one more album, which I have covered and I do enjoy, and that would be the Carnival of Souls album. But unfortunately, the album kind of just got released under the radar when the original band got back together. Which is a shame, because it could have been a good album to tour. Tough Love is whatever. I'm not a fan of it one way or the other. It does the trick. Then you got Spit, which is Simmons, Venzen, and Stanley. I like Spit in a manner of speaking. Because really Spit is just their way of getting around saying shit, It is. Then we get into the legendary God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. Now, I did not know that this was a cover, and the reason I did not know this was a cover is because the credits list Ballard, Stanley, Simmons, and Ezrin. Ballard would have been the original composer of the original song, and I don't know how the hell Stanley, Simmons, and Ezrin got stuff on here unless it was because they made changes to the arrangements or whatnot. I've listened to the original once or twice. It is definitely not the same as this version. So I think they played with it a little bit. Now, as much trash as I talked about Gene Simmons at the very beginning. Oh, by the way, God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. The cool part about that song, and it is a really good song, it is a fun song, is it was one of the very few songs that was released post original Kiss that actually was still played during the live shows after the reunion tour started, which was cool. After that, we go into Domino, which is purely a Gene Simmons song, which is where I was going before I drop back for a second there. Domino, I love Domino. Domino is such a fun song. I karaoke Domino. I have this great karaoke disc. It's got a mix of AC/DC and Kiss tracks on it. High quality stuff. And Domino is one of the ones on there. And I absolutely love Domino. It's great, great tune. But it's really the attitude in the song that really makes it so good. After that, we get into Heart of Chrome. That would be Stanley, Vincent, and Ezrin. Heart of Chrome's not bad. It's a good tune. It's a good, solid tune. Then we get to Thou Shalt Not, which is Simmons and Damon. Another solid tune. Really good, solid. Now, the thing with this album is this is a very, very solid album. There are definitely some standout tracks, which I'll come back around to at the end, but the whole way around, there isn't really a bad song on this album. Every Time I Look at You is a ballad, and I'm not a fan of it. It's not a bad song, but it's not a great song. I personally generally don't like arena ballads or power ballads or whatever you want to call them. This is definitely in that category, and as such, I just naturally have a dislike for it, but it is a quality song all the same. Then you got Paralyzed, which is Simmons and Ezrin. Paralyzed is a good tune. Really good. I enjoy that one. After that, you got I Just Wanna, which is Stanley and Vincent. And then it finishes off with The Car Jam 1981. So this was Eric Singer's first album with the band. I have a great appreciation for Eric Singer as a drummer. He's a fantastic drummer. He's got a bit of an attitude from what I have heard. I've never personally experienced it. I have not had the luxury of meeting him. Every time I have seen Alice Cooper, it has actually been a different drummer. I've yet to get to see Eric Singer touring with Alice, at least not in recent years. If I did, it would have been back when Kiss was doing the reunion tour and Eric was back to Alice, but most of that period I missed with Eric on the drums. But Eric Singer replaced Eric Carr. Eric Carr, the Eric Carr Jam was put on here as a tribute to Eric Carr. It's this great jam. I really, really love it. It's one of the, as a guy who enjoys jamming and musicians doing their thing, it's honestly one of my favorite tracks on here to listen to. When it comes to tracks worth listening to on here, Unholy is not bad. I know I say, it works okay. If you like the sexier side, we'll call it, of rock and roll, that whole mentality, that dirty, sexy mentality, Take It Off is a great tune too. Spit is kind of fun as a joke, but that's about it. God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too is an amazing song. It's fantastic. I mean, there's a reason they ended Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey with it. It was the perfect song to end it with. And it really is the perfect song for them to close out like every show with. It really is. It's just a great, great song. Domino is fantastic. I absolutely love Domino. God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too and Domino are my two favorite full songs on here because the car jam is just that. It's a jam. It is a full instrumental, but depending on where you sit, there's no lyrics on it or anything like that, right? So it's just, some people will not take it the same way. So God Gave Rock and Roll to You, Domino, I Just Wanna. That's a good song for live. That is a lot of fun for live. And once again, the Car Jam 1981. The Whole Way Around. If you like Kiss, if you like the original classic Kiss, this might not be such a great album for you. I know my dad wasn't a huge fan of this album. He did enjoy Domino. He got a kick out of a couple of lines in the song. But The Whole Way Around, though, my dad, who was a huge Kiss fan, like saw him at Cobo Hall, Detroit Rock City, he wasn't huge on this album. I like this album a lot more than he did. But this album is also more reflective of my time with music. Like this is when I started getting into music, and this was kind of the heavier, more metal side, but before the grunge really started kicking in. So this did not have that darker vibe to it. It really had more of a lighter, jovial kind of feel to it. There was a little bit of, Unholy obviously is darker a little bit. Thou Shalt Not's a little bit darker. Spit is so. But The Whole Way Around, it is a really cool album to listen to, and I honestly think it is one of Kiss's better albums. I'm not a huge Kiss connoisseur, but out of the albums I do own, the albums I do have, the albums I've listened to over the years, this is a solid album. Anyways, folks, those are my views, those are my thoughts, those are my opinions. Comment section, that's where you can tell me your thoughts, views, and opinions. While you're going down that way, you'll also see in the description there is a link for Patreon. If you click on that, you can go throw a little money my way. Like button, subscribe button. That subscribe button, folks, is really, really important. If you could hit that subscribe button, it would mean a lot to me. And the reason why is when I want to live stream stuff, like this summer coming up, I got a trip coming up this summer that's going to play directly into my album reviews. And I'd like to be able to do some live updates. But unless I get a certain subscriber number, and I think it's got to be over 100, I can't do live feeds. And I really would love to be able to do some live feeds. Because I'm going to tell you a secret. Rammstein, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, this summer. Hell yeah, baby. I've been waiting for this. Postponed over and over again. But I want to be able to do some live updates while I'm actually there getting ready to go to the concert. I can't broadcast the concert, obviously. But I'd love to, be able to show everybody outside the concert and everything like that live as I'm getting ready to go in. So I need people to please start hitting that subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, other than that, so Patreon, comments, like, subscribe. Peace, love, take care.